hit your watch button, Danny, and you can share it. Hi, everybody. It's
Hey.
Tuesday afternoon, and the Rain Outreach team is back with you live. Today, we are going to have a couple of guests. We have Danny Manning online with us today, and she's going to talk with us. Today, we're going to be talking about respect, how to get the respect you deserve, and what to do when it is not given.
Okay.
Bryce, who is our peer retention specialist, of course, is going to be, this is his topic today, and he's going to be moderating. Looks like our fourth person just came in. Let me go ahead and pull Justice up. Hey, Justice.
Justice.
I can't with him right now. Hi. Welcome to our live stream.
Hey.
Hello.
Justice is part of our EPI team, and so he's going to be also joining our conversation today. As always, the outreach team, we are part of RAIN, and we are here every Tuesday and Thursday at 6:30 to discuss different issues within the community as well as healthy sexual and sexual behavior. All right, Bryce, I'm going to turn it over to you today and let you get into it.
Hey, everybody. So today we're going to be talking about respect and getting disrespected. This morning, I had a little old something pop up, and I just told him, you know what? I'm not interested. I don't want to be involved anymore. And he spazzed on me via message, like saying things like, "You're not even my type, and you should be glad that I even keep messaging you, responding back to you." So I had to give him a very nice, well-written paragraph, and it goes like this. It says, obviously, I am your type because you keep messaging me. This is why you keep getting denied, because you're disrespectful. A man is only going to do to you what you allow, and I'm not taking no disrespect. So why would I be obligated to share my body with you and you disrespect me? I said, go find somebody else with some low self-esteem, because that shit is not going to slide over here.
Period.
Denied.
Right.
Good evening.
So my first question was that I wanted to know, should I have even responded in the first place? By me responding, does that show that I cared too much, or did it show that I wasn't tolerating it?
It could be seen as either way, I think. Mm-hmm. I think sometimes not saying anything is just as powerful as saying something. Mm-hmm. It just depends on the situation. Sometimes I can't even hold my own tongue. I'll pray to God. I'll be like, God, just hold my tongue. Like, don't let it out. And then one more word is said, and there it goes. I'm just spitting it all out. So it's easier said than done.
Justice, what do you think?
Well, I mean, it could go either way. The response could, be like, look, I'm not for your bullshit, but also not saying anything. I think that gets the message across too, because it's like, if you're gonna use that energy to tell me that I'm not your type after we done already spent, time getting to know each other and whatever the case, then you obviously something's loose in your brain, and I probably shouldn't even entertain that. So
right,
I'm gonna let you live in your fantasy land, and
sometimes people say stuff just to get a rise out of you.
Exactly. And one of my good friends in school, he always told me, because I used to have a very short fuse. He was always saying I don't even remember. Every action doesn't need a reaction. I think that's what he used to say.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, in that case, I don't even think that a response was warranted, but I also don't think that it did any harm either, because it's like, well, now
right.
I'm not fooling with your bullshit. So, damn.
Well, how you feel, Patrice?
Oh, I'm terrible. I am that aggressive person that would have been like, did that. Why do you keep contacting me? Clearly, I don't want to talk to you. Leave me alone. Give me back my purse. No, we're not doing it. And then you want to jump fly? I'm going to make you cry. I'm going to be so disrespectful. And I am going to dive in for your throat so hard, it's not even going to be funny. I don't have time for that. Who got time for that? Ain't nobody got time for that.
I've always been taught that when somebody hurts your feelings or somebody disrespects you, you're supposed to speak it and let it be known. But confrontation is something that's new for me. So I wasn't always confrontational. I didn't always address the issue. I started addressing the issue when I was like 19. But until then, I would have let it, go, and then I would have continued, but then something else would have popped up. So
But you're young, so that's not really that odd. You kind of have to get to that point where you know where your level is with people, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because my whole 20s was spent saying yes, yes to everybody, and my whole 30s have been spent saying no, no, no.
No.
That's typically how that goes. Yeah, I mean, you have to realize, like, for me, I am very much people treat you the way you allow them to treat you. Whether I know you or not, whether we are friends or not, whether we are dating or not. You're not getting ready to talk to me any kind of way, period. Right.
I mean, because if you want respect, you have to give respect. You can't demand it and think that, oh, well, because you demanded it, now I have to give it to you. No.
But that's not something I think I would. I don't think I've ever demanded respect from anyone.
Have you ever been in a situation to where you're giving a person respect or the respect that you wanted, but they're just not reciprocating it to you?
Mm-hmm.
And how would you navigate that?
Wait, what's the question?
Have you ever been in a situation to where you were giving a person respect, and the same respect that you were giving them was not being reciprocated to you? How would you navigate that?
I had that situation in college with a professor, and I didn't handle it well. Only because I was an adult when I went back to school. I was 25. And they made a comment that I was plagiarizing a paper that I wrote. And I didn't appreciate it. And I may or may not have told him where he could jump off at. In my youth, I was a little more confrontational than I am now. And I just didn't handle it well. I think that when you are dealing with people in certain positions, that you kind of have to learn how to bite your tongue. And it's hard for me to do that. It's very hard for me to do that.
And see, I'm the opposite. Like, sometimes it's really hard for me to stand up for myself, depending on the person. Like, it's hard for me to say what it is that I like, how I really feel, because sometimes it just comes off not the way I'm trying to say it. And then now it's taken in a completely different context. And I'm like, wait a minute, where did this just go? And I don't like confrontation. I will try to avoid confrontation, but that's not a good thing either, because then sometimes when you don't say something, that's giving people permission to treat you a certain way. And that's what I have trouble with, is voicing up from the beginning. And I let it keep going and going until I'm at the point where no return.
So you let it build until you just can't take it anymore instead of nipping it in the bud.
Right. Yeah. And I don't, and I try to change that. I try to change that about myself, but sometimes it's really hard when it depends on the situation and the person.
Yeah.
That brings us to our second question. Do you always respond to the first time it happens, or do you let situations build?
Well, you know my answer.
Yeah. Well, I'm at the point now, I address it as soon as it happens. And it's been going not so good, because when you're a person, I guess when people are used to you to letting it like continue, and then you're finally saying something, they kind of look at you like, why are you finally saying something now?
Right.
Like, why is it a problem now?
Right.
But I also do feel like it's something that needs to be said right then and there. I had a similar situation with a professor in college, but my issue was, even though I wasn't necessarily confrontational, I wasn't like an ass kisser. So if my professor had an issue with something that I did, I wasn't going to change it. I was going to continue to do what I wanted. But
yeah, that's not insubordination at all.
But see, that's another thing too, because then they felt like they were disrespected. So it's like their respect was kind of like, it should be given to me, because I'm your professor. And it's the same way too, where you can have work with some supervisors like, you don't respect me just because I'm your supervisor. Or some households, like they're like, you're gonna respect me just because I'm your parent, even though I don't respect you as my child. You're still gonna respect me, period, because I'm your parent.
Right.
So I just want to know, are there ways to break that respect that's being demanded from you, or do you just have to learn how to navigate it through a given situation?
Justice, what you think?
First, y'all gonna have to excuse me because I'm like side hustling. I'm here. But I think that respect comes with knowing people, and the more you know someone, the more you understand them, the more it is easier for you to understand why they do things that they do that you might not agree with, or why they act a certain way, or why they might demand respect from you and not necessarily give it to you in a way that you would like, if that makes sense. Because I feel like everybody doesn't know how to, just how people, everybody doesn't know how to love. Everybody might not know what kind of respect you want. So I think that, the more you know a person, the more they're able to understand you and you're able to understand them. And it makes it it makes it that much easier for them to give you the respect that you want.
Right.
So what if it's somebody that you just met? Yeah. Like you're trying to date somebody and they do some, oh, we're supposed to get together and do this and do that, and then they just never show up. You supposed to let that go, or you supposed to check them at the door?
Oh no!
Check him at the door. Check him at the door at that one.
and that case,
because then that makes it okay. They're just gonna keep doing it because they're like, well, she was okay with the very first time, so why not do it a second time?
No, that's when you have to really be like, hey, motherfucker, what happened to us on Friday? Like, you just disappeared. Like, what's up?
Right.
Oh, you actually gonna call and still talk to them?
No, because what happens now?
Okay.
They ghost you, then they hit you up like nothing happened. You're not going to hit me up like nothing happened.
I'm also not. I'm not even acknowledging your life. Like you don't even exist anymore. Like
Patrice, no, you done lost your first chance with Patrice. She done.
Shit is over. Shit is way over. Now, with bosses at work, I have had a problem with that term insubordination. And I have in the past said, I am not your subordinate. I am your employee. And if you can't talk to me with a modicum of respect, I don't know who you yelling and cursing at because you don't have some kind of sales numbers that you want. Not gonna do.
Well, see, in that situation, they were completely disrespectful and unprofessional because they were cursing. So they shouldn't even have been cursing at you in the first place. So you had every right to say what you said in return, and there was nothing they could do about it because, I mean, what are they going to say? Well, I was cussing her out and she didn't handle it well. Okay.
Well, no, they're going to say, I was just trying to give coachable feedback on a situation because she's not meeting her numbers, so I'm just trying to inspire her. Blah, 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 blah.
I don't get inspired by being yelled at.
Right.
I mean, if I did something wrong, talk to me. And sometimes I don't always know what I did in that moment because I could have done several things for all I know, but I don't know what that one thing was that pissed you off. So just actually sit down and tell me what it was, because if I have to assume, I'm either going to not do it at all or I'm going to assume the wrong thing. And then it's just another argument. And it's just like, just talk to me, like just have a conversation. It's easy to talk than it is to yell because
for some people.
Yes, for some people.
What if I come from an environment to where I don't know how to talk to you?
Right. And then some people
upset about something.
And some people feel like they're not heard when they speak calmly. They feel like, they have to get aggressive and get loud in order to be heard. So it's just like, how do you help change
Find a
those
balance.
people, right? Like how to balance, talking and the yelling, and then not taking it in a way where it turns into a bigger argument, because okay, this person they are passionate, they do yell, they do get loud, and you have to, I guess, try to figure out, or try not to take it personal, but sometimes it does become personal if you start the low jabs. Like, that's what I don't like, is like the low jabs. Like, don't throw stuff back in my face. Like, let's just talk.
Yeah. Now you have taken all professionalism off the table. That shit's
Right.
out the door.
Right.
There's nothing.
Right.
Now you've opened yourself up for all of the shit.
Right.
And that's unfortunate. But it does happen sometimes.
No, what bothers me more is passive aggressiveness. Like,
yeah.
I don't like.
I'm guilty of that sometimes.
Oh, I wish somebody would help me, or they'd be like,
right.
I just hope we can get to a point where we can stop leaving the coffee machine like this. It's like, no, girl, if you got a problem, say it. If you need help,
right.
ask for help.
Right.
If you feel like a certain person is messing up the coffee machine, pull that person aside and be like, stop fucking with the coffee machine. Like, I don't like passive aggressiveness. Another thing I wanted to talk about is microaggressions, because before I was back in my previous job, I was working at the YMCA and had a lower haircut, and I was brushing my hair. And I had a white coworker come up to me and was like, "Why do you brush your hair? You don't even hardly have any hair. Like, what are you brushing?" So I was like,
"What does that have to do with you?"
And I was like, "I was brushing my hair. Like, what about?" And I'm trying to ask myself, is this coming from is this a genuine question, or like, is this just a real, I don't even know.
Where's the line between what's a genuine question and what's shade?
Yeah.
Right. But it's sad that we even have to live in a world that we even have to think that way when someone of another race asks us a question. Because if a Black person had asked you that same question, what would your response would have been?
I'd be like, boy, I'm trying to get some waves. Like, I'm brushing my hair. Like,
exactly.
Because I would have associated him being Black. I would be like, he would have known what waves were. But her being white, I'm like, she probably don't know what waves. So I don't even know how to explain this to her. First of all, I don't even know how I feel right now. And then secondly, I don't even know how to explain this.
So that brings up a good question. When it comes to people of other races asking questions like that, or, why do you get your hair permed, or why is your hair curly when it's not permed? Do you think that these are disrespectful questions, or do you think that sometimes they just may actually want to know? Because I'm one of those people who I prefer to be the bridge builder, and I will answer the questions. Yes, you can touch my hair. It doesn't bother me.
Let people touch your hair.
And see, I let people touch mine too. I love when people play in my hair. Like, I don't. And see, I'm the same way. I will answer a question. I won't think it's racist. If it depends on who it's coming from. Now, if it's a coworker that I've known for a while, and she's the type, or he's the type that's always asking damn questions, then I'm not going to take it in a weird way. But if it's a brand new coworker and you come up to me and the first thing you want to do is like, is this real? Then I'm gonna have a problem, especially if you're white, because now I'm taking it in a different way. Yes. But I had a white coworker get upset because one of our Black coworkers said to her, she like picked off hair off her shirt, and she was like, "Why do white people always shed like dogs?"
Well, that was disrespectful.
Exactly. So it's just like, why would you say that? Because if you being Black, if a white person would have said something like that to you, you would have seen it in a very racial way. And you would have gone off, and it would have gone to HR. It would have been a big thing. And I feel like it goes both ways. Don't disrespect any other race if you don't want your race and yourself disrespected. I mean, we all just got to love each other. Why can't we love each other?
I think there's a line. I think that you kind of know who's genuine and who's not. Like
Right.
when I lived in Hawaii, I had an afro. And like Japanese people and Chinese people would get off the cruise ships and they would see me and they'd be like, oh, we touch your hair? Oh, so soft.
But see, they were probably really just curious.
And they were curious because they don't have a lot of people of color in Asia and Japan. Now, whereas as when people live there, some people are subjected to a lot of racism in Asia. And I get that. But those people, to me, did not come off as aggressive or being rude, just really, really curious. And then shocked when my hair was soft. They soft like lamb. Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Soft like a lamb. Yeah.
Right. And some people have to realize that different cultures aren't being racist. They really just don't know and don't understand because it's what you're exposed to. And if you're not exposed to other races, you can't assume that someone's being racist if they're asking a question because they really just don't generally understand or don't know. And I'd rather them ask me than assume.
Right.
That's true. I could say I could accept that because, but still, I was like, I didn't even know what to say. I just, I just stood there with confusion on my face, like,
I just can't see you at a loss for words.
But I don't think it came from a place of. I think it came from a place of genuine curiosity of like when she was like, "Your hair is already low. Why are you like brushing it?" Like
Yeah,
right.
Still, girl, I didn't know what to say. So what happens if you are at work and somebody does give you blatant disrespect? Would you navigate that the same way you would if you wasn't outside of work?
Justice, tap in.
It depends on how deep the disrespect is because I feel like in the workplace there's levels to the disrespect, and I feel like it goes from okay, I'm gonna just shrug this off to you know what, call HR because you got me fucked up. It all depends. It all depends on what you're willing to, say. All right, that was a little too much.
Yeah, we actually had 2 coworkers at my job like get in each other's face, yelling in front of patients, cussing each other out. Yeah, and all because one felt disrespected. And it was over something so stupid that it shouldn't have gone the way it did. And they both got suspended over something stupid. And I'm just like, so was it worth it?
Right.
Like, I mean, there's better ways to handle the situation. Right.
Right. You stood up for yourself, but where did it get you? Did you did you teach anybody anything? Was there a learning curve there? Or did you just look like an asshole?
When people get disrespect, they're not thinking about none of that. They're thinking about, I gotta let this bitch know.
Hey, Regina.
Fucking with the wrong one. And I had to let her know that this is not I'm not the fucking one. 2 or 3. My mother used to work for a law firm, and the lawyer that she was working for like yelled at her. I remember this so vividly because she came home from work pissed. Like when your mom comes home from work and the house not clean, she mad. But she came home from work like extra pissed. Like you could feel the piss from the car through the door.
Livid.
So she worked at a law firm, and then the lawyer at the law firm was yelling at her, scolding her for something that I don't know, but she didn't. He felt like she didn't do something right, and she basically told her like, "Yo, like, I'm an adult, I'm a grown ass woman. You're not gonna talk to me like that." And that's just it. She walked out, so she overheard him telling the other lawyer at the law firm to fire her, and he said no. So then from that point on, until my mother found another job, he was giving her a hard time at work because he didn't have enough balls to fire her, but the other lawyer wouldn't do it. So I was saying to myself, like, at that moment in time, I don't think I would have stayed. I think I would have left because
I would have made his life a living hell the whole time I was there.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I would have done my job, but I would have been so nice, nasty to him that he would have been sick of me. Sick of me.
How you get nice, nasty?
Hey, how you doing? You having a great morning today? I hope so.
I did that to a coworker the other day. Okay, so it's nice, nasty.
I mean, sometimes the best thing to do is kill them with kindness. It throws them off the scent and it confuses the fuck out of them.
Oh yeah,
especially if you say it with a smile and you look at them like you want to slit their throat.
Right. I had a patient the same way. She was steady cussing me out on the phone, going off on me, and I was so nice to her. By the end of the conversation, she was apologizing to me several times for going off on her. And not one time did I raise my voice. I was just like, okay, ma'am, I understand. Is there anything else I can help you with? Like, I was just so nice to her that she was like, I'm so sorry. I was so rude and it wasn't your fault. I know. Have a good day.
See, I'm not a fake it till I make it type person. I don't have a poker face. If I don't like something,
it's all over your face.
Doing customer service, if you've done phone customer service, you get a lot of that. I work for Sprint and all their customers call in cursing, just blah, blah, blah. Now, it really just depends on your own personal mental health. For me, I don't need that in my life. I'm already bipolar. Shit will get real fast. I don't need that kind of stress in my life. So I chose not to work there. Like, I actually resigned. I was like, y'all allow customers to talk to us any kind of way. You don't give us an out. Whereas most companies, when customers start abusing you on the phone, they'll let you disconnect the call. Nope, not there. You're going to eat that. Sorry. No, thank you.
Wow. Yeah. See, that's not, I don't think that's okay at all on both ends. I just feel like some people just take the anger out on the person that answers the phone. It's just like, wait a minute. I'm not even the person that did it. I'm not even the person that can even help you fix it. And you're going off on me. Like, how about we start from the beginning? You calmly explain to me what's going on, and then I can explain to you where to go next. It just sitting there cussing somebody out. I don't see how that gets anybody anywhere.
I mean, it just makes the person feel better. I typically don't go to that route unless they take me there. If I can call and get my issue resolved, then great. But if you sit there and tell me some wild shit that absolutely makes no sense because you don't feel like working today, then that's a different situation. Okay, so that's work and coworkers. Let's try. Now, do you check your friend's disrespect the same way you would check a partner?
I'm gonna answer honestly, no. I think I take less disrespect from my partner than I do my friends because I think I hold my relationship, my romantic relationship, higher standards to my friendship standards. So I feel like if my romantic partner disrespect me once, I don't want to deal with that again, so I cut it. But with my friends, I feel like we're friends. We allowed to have disagreements, so we can come back and we can fix it. And some people I might be backwards. So some people, they might be quick to amp on their friends, but they'll let it slide with their boyfriend or their girlfriend. So I'm gonna be honest and be like, no, I think I would nip it in the bud faster in my relationship than I would with my friendship.
Okay. Danny?
I'm the opposite. Like I said, I don't like confrontation. So sometimes I won't say anything. And honestly, in all my relationships, it never works out that way, not saying anything. But at the same time, I don't like to argue. So I just feel like, okay, if that's what you want to do, like you have to really push me to get me to explode and start going off. And I can't stand getting there. I really can't. I don't at all. And I will, but at the same time, I know how to voice my opinion and my view easier to a friend or a coworker than I can to my partner. And I don't know why. I don't understand why I can't show that same type of, I guess, professionalism at home that I can show at work. I don't know. I think by the time we both get home, it's like our patience level is kind of shot because we both work in customer service. My wife's job is physical, and it kind of, by the time you get home, it's like neither one of us have that patience to sit and calmly say something to you because I've had to pretend to be nice all day. So I think that's kind of where we have that issue at. We need to learn how to keep that professionalism even with each other.
Justice?
I can't hear him. There you go.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my God. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just saw something that I was not prepared to see.
I'm about to say, was he fine?
He was not fine at all. I just don't understand the point of sagging to where like you shouldn't even be wearing pants at that. And then you got on mixed match socks. Who let you out the house?
I can't stand that.
I love wearing mismatched socks. Anyway,
the pants.
I do too, but only when my feet are covered and not exposed. And anyways, to answer the question, so I was in a very short-lived relationship because our communication was just not. It was just not where it needed to be, and it goes back to what you're saying about like, after a long day, you know what I'm saying. It's very difficult to be nice when like, well, I don't really have to do this in my job now, but it's like when you gotta pretend to be nice to people all day, it's like, look, I don't got time for this fake shit. You getting on my nerves, and you give me my space.
Right.
I think that it's easier to say that to your friends because it's like sometimes you don't even have to say anything to your friends. Your friends will just be like, "All right, well, you need some space.
You need a moment."
Right.
I'll be over here. But see, if you do that in a relationship, what I've learned is like that's not how you do things, or that's just not how the person that I was with did things. Because I'm very much so.
You went to a dead zone. Okay.
I'm very much so like, if you pissing me off, even if you're my partner, like leave me alone, because I don't like to say things when I'm upset. Because when you say things when you're upset, you can't take that back. So rather than say something when I'm upset, I just be like, all right, give me 5 minutes or 5 days. And then we can
I can't stand people like you.
Your friends because your partner might feel like, oh, well, you need space from me, you cheating on me, what's going on? Like, so I think that it, sorry, I had a flashback.
Cheating on me.
But
no, see, I'm very much
spiel,
like, if something hurt me at work, I leave it in the car. So when I come home, I'm ready to be happy at home. So if I feel like my partner is giving me bad energy because something bad happened at work, my favorite line of space, I'm not the one who did it.
Right. Yep.
Like,
I say that too. Yep.
So you need to drop it. I dropped what happened to me at work. You need to drop what happened to you at work, because I didn't do it. So
I'm a little bit of all of them. It is very easy for me to flip off on friends. It is difficult to do that with my spouse. However, we are very good at saying, I really don't want to see you right now. I'm going to. We do that. Simply because we know each other well enough to know that why sit around somebody and be upset if you don't want to be bothered, don't be bothered. Go in another room. That's why we got 3 bedrooms and there's only 2 of us.
I'm sorry. Thank
you. So we go in another room. And sometimes, I mean, that works for us. I know everybody is not like that. We're both very weird. We're both nerds. Sometimes we just, some days you just wake up and you look at them like, not today. Not today, sir. I'm gonna be back here in the office. If you need something, holler at me. I just can't.
And see, I like to like fix it and like nip it in the butt and let's clear the air and move past it. And that's kind of where Kat and I like get into it because like
everybody's not ready to process.
Yeah, she's the give me space, let me breathe, let me separate, and I'm just like, but why? What did you?
Yes, but why? We need to talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's cut it out.
And
but why are you upset?
Right, and that just pisses her off even more. She's like, just give me space. I don't want to say anything that I'm gonna regret. And at the same time, I get it. But then on the other side, I'm still like, but I want to know why you're mad. Like,
why are you mad?
I want to be able to process it too. Like, let me know.
No. We're doing none of those things. Following each other around, arguing.
Partners, personal way of how they deal with things. Some people like to suppress it. So some people very much, I don't want to talk about it right now.
Right.
Like, I don't want to talk about it. But some people like, no, I need to express this now, so I want to deal with it later. And that's how I am. I like to express it right then and there when it happened with my partner, so that way it'll be gone later. I have arguments with friends. We didn't talk for 3 days. So we called each other like, hey, girl, like nothing happened. But with my significant other, I can't do that. I can't go 3 days and talk to you again like nothing happened. Like, no, motherfucker, we need to talk about what happened on Friday.
Right.
You know what I mean? I can't do that.
That's how I feel too. Like, let's talk about it. Let's move past this. Because I feel like if you don't talk about it, like you may say, give me a few days, but in a few days, you might be like how you were with your friend. Hey girl, how we doing? It's like it never comes back up. And it's just like, well, wait a minute. You said we were going to talk about nope, still not ready. And it's like, okay, well, when are we going to be ready?
Be ready to talk about it.
Right. And sometimes it doesn't happen because it's both of us, like, because I'm afraid that it's going to start an argument. So I won't bring it up because she asks me not to. And then she won't bring it up because she's also afraid it's going to start an argument and she's not in the mood to argue. So then we're both sitting here like, okay, I don't want to argue. So let's just forget about it. Let's let it go. And that doesn't help anything.
Y'all so sweet.
We're both just crazy.
No, we need to talk about what happened. I can't go to bed. I will cut the lights on and turn around in the bed and be like, listen, I can't sleep. We need to talk about it.
No, I can't go to bed. I cannot. Yeah, I'm that childish person. I just won't say nothing. Oh, you don't want to talk? Okay. Cool. I'll holler at you in a couple days. We talk about it.
I don't like to be ignored.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know why. I don't like to be ignored. Like I don't like that feeling at all. And I think that's how I take it, as us not talking, you're ignoring me. And now I'm internalizing that. So, and that's what I need to learn not to do, is internalize
how they feel
and need space. Because it's not always about it's not about me and my feelings at the time. It's about them and their feelings. And that's what they're concerned about. So it's just like, I need to learn to, give that 50-50. Okay. Sometimes you need that space. Let's walk away. But sometimes I need a conversation. I need to nip it in the butt now. So it's just trying to figure out, that 50-50. So we're both not feeling like we're not heard.
But see, I'm a hypocrite. Like, I don't like being ignored, but I will ignore you too. Because once I feel like I tried to talk to you and I feel like you didn't want to listen to me, it's done. Like, it's a dub. Like, I will ignore you. Because I tried. Like, and now you
so let me ask a question, because we're talking about how you can be disrespected, but what is a level of disrespect in your relationship that there is no coming back from?
Oh, calling me out by name, or using something that I told you in confidence and you blow it up and back up in my face.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't. I don't know. I tolerate way too much. Let's just start there. But at the same time, I never know what my breaking point is until I'm there. So it's just like, I will give you chance after chance, because I'm like, okay, I know people change, and I love you, and I'm willing to wait. I'm willing to work on it. I'm willing to. Like, that's
what I keep thinking in my head. With your partner. This is like with friendships, you know.
With friendships, I can end you quickly. You piss me off, like I can stop talking to you tomorrow and be completely okay with that. But when it comes to my relationships, it's because I feel like, okay, I've put so much time and energy into this one person that I don't want to just be like, okay, you pissed me off today, I'm done. Like, I don't give up that easily. And it's a good thing and a bad thing. Like, I'm a patient person, but sometimes I'm too patient. So
there is no breaking
kind of
point
a double edge. It's a wild, yeah. I can't even tell you what exactly it is, because so many things have happened to me by so many different people that I should have ended stuff and I didn't.
Okay.
So
that's an honest answer. I appreciate that transparency. That's a very honest answer. Bryce?
My breaking point is when you make me cry.
Well, not only that, but can you maintain the friendship or the relationship after somebody has disrespected you?
No, like if the disrespect made me like really hurt my feelings to the point where I had to shed a tear, it's done. Boyfriend or friendship.
That's the point.
That's what it's at. Like, I'm not gonna be crying over no boy. I'm sorry, I can't. I can't.
That makes a lot of sense. I am not mad about that.
There's too much life out here to be making you cry, making me cry because you disrespectful. I can't.
Yeah,
I can feel you on that.
What about for you?
Regina said her issue was lying. She doesn't like that shit. I guess so. Is there no coming back from the lies, Regina?
Yes, don't lie, especially when I ask you to tell me the truth and you still lie anyway. And I already know the truth, and I just want to see you have enough respect for me to tell me the truth to my face, and you still lie. Like, why you lie? You lie. I said it to my ex. Like, all you do is lie. I said, stop lying.
Oh shit.
I can't.
I don't know. I think I'm a little bit of both. There have been the relationships that I have repaired, and there have been relationships that I've tried to repair only for people to do fuck shit again. And then I'm like, well, no. I'm very much a person that believes once I've experienced something and I don't like it, I'm not going to let anybody else do it, period. I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't like certain things. And if you do that, knowing these things about me, then you made that choice for me. I don't even really have to be bothered with it. But my tolerance is real low for bullshit. On either side, relationships or friends. My friends they think me overly critical because I am very much that friend who is like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? We didn't learn the last time. But at the same time, I also have to be very understanding about everybody is not at the same place. You may not be ready to change your situation. You may not be ready to address things. And as a friend, that's something that I've had to learn because I always expect and I want the best for people that are in my life. So if I see you heading down a path of destruction, I'm gonna say like, "Hey, what's happening? What's going on? Let's talk about it."
Right.
But Justice. He was in deep thought.
So in a relationship, what is like disrespect that you can't come back from? For me, I'm not very tolerant of a lot. Like the smallest things piss me off, and I guess that's my problem. But for one, don't lie to me. That I mean, you can come back from that, but it's only after so many lies that you can come back from that. And it's like basic stuff. I've never been cheated on, so I can't say that. Because I don't know how I react to that. Some people crazy, they like getting cheated on, so
You're right.
I don't know if I'm one of those people because it's never happened to me yet. So but one thing I can say for sure that is like an ultimate form of disrespect is just like feeling like I'm beneath you. Because I feel like if you're in a relationship with somebody, you should be seeing them as your equal, and you should compliment each other and build each other up.
Yes.
And sometimes you might have to pick up a little more slack than normal, but don't ever treat me like I'm beneath you, because the moment you treat me that I'm beneath you, I'm gonna show you exactly why I'm not, and you're not gonna like it. So yeah, don't do that, because nobody wants to feel like they're less than something. So that's my spiel on that.
Very true.
That is a good breaking point. I can concur with that. So there's not a just end all be all. Justice, you said that's the end all be all. They can't come back from the disrespect of trying to belittle you.
No, because I feel like if you belittle somebody or you try to make somebody feel like they're beneath you, that came from a place. And then, motherfuckers love her. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't know you were going to be so hurt by that. Oh, my God. No, fuck you, because you said that from a place and you meant every motherfucking word you said. And I'm sorry, but my ex was like that. He would do shit and then he would like, oh, I'm sorry. I was angry and that's why I did it. Okay, well, then that's not my problem. You need to learn how
to. That's not an excuse. Right.
It's not an excuse.
Sorry.
Right. Because motherfuckers love I'm sorry. And they think that, if I accept one sorry, I'm going to accept 26 sorry. And no, I'm not. Because sorry cannot fix everything.
I'm a firm believer if you were really sorry, you would have never did it.
Period.
Yeah, I'm one of those as well. Yeah.
Yeah, like, nah.
I'm not really I'm sorry individual. I'm not good at that. I will tell someone I'm sorry if I hurt their feelings. I will only say it if I mean it. There's not going to be any lip service just to make me feel better. Okay. Not into that. Not my thing. Not my thing. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I don't see
that way.
You may or may not get that. But I think that respect is something that, especially in the era of social media, is ignored or just all out not a thing for people anymore. I'm always amazed at the way people will comment on people's posts on social media. Just the shit that comes out of people's mouths that don't know you. Like, I didn't really think trolls were a real thing until I just started looking at different things and read, because I'm not a comment reader. I don't really care. I think people are cheap, so I know they're going to say stupid shit. But it's amazing the things that these people say. Like, I was watching a podcast. Remember last week I talked about the young woman who was attacked during the protest. Well, there was another transgender woman that has a show that was interviewing her, talking about the situation. But all in the comments, they was talking about oh, your nails look gross, you need to cut that shit off, and blah, 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 blah. That's not the fucking conversation.
Oh,
that is some disrespectful ass shit.
And all types
of
stuff, like,
Like, why?
Well, that's just how with the whole George Floyd situation, how they're putting out his criminal record and talking about how he had COVID. What does that have to do with the fact that the police officer killed him? Like, what does any of that have to do with anything?
Today, the police officer's lawyer talked about other people should have intervened if they really cared that much. So what are you talking about?
Oh, so then they could have shot everybody and then said that, they did it because everybody came attacking them?
Thank you.
And see, I feel like discrediting people that are dead and were killed unjustly is another form of extreme disrespect.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't enjoy the victim shaming. I think that is the lowest point that you can go to when you take someone who was killed or damaged in a way that was so violent, regardless of what they have done in their life. Nobody deserves to die like that. You know what I'm saying? Nobody deserves to die at someone else's hand, regardless of what they have done in their lives. Now, granted, if they did some fuck shit, then that's something y'all have to discuss. But when a civil servant attacks an actual citizen for an offense, that any kind of offense, I've watched the fucking Charleston shooter killed 8 fucking people. They put him in handcuffs and fed him fucking Burger King. If that's not some disrespectful shit, I don't know what the fuck is.
Exactly.
But it's not something that is addressed or talked about. Nope. I mean, and so when you get into stuff like that, that to me is like so disrespectful, but it's very little that you can do about it.
Yeah. I want to also speak about discrediting the dead because there was this rapper named X Tenacion that passed away. He was murdered. And before he passed away, he was known for being a woman beater, homophobic, and just an all-around bad person. And then when people were expressing their gratitude, like why they weren't sad that he passed away, his fans were like, it doesn't matter what he did. But other people were like, nah, like, I mean, it's messed up that he was murdered, but he wasn't a good person. So would that be considered like disrespectful because he didn't deserve to be murdered how he was? But there's people like, I don't mourn him because he wasn't a good person when he was alive.
Mean, unless he's out here killing people, I'm pretty sure he doesn't deserve to be murdered.
No.
I mean,
well, unless he's doping up little girls and selling them on the street. There's a lot of shit.
Yes.
That can. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not getting ready to sugarcoat this shit. None of that.
Well, true.
There's a lot of shit that you can do to where I feel like somebody needs to take you out. All these little rapists of these children out here that's getting 4 months in jail.
But you know what? But they get their karma, because once you put somebody that did anything wrong to a child in prison, they don't last long.
But they have to go to jail. Some of these people are just getting fined.
Yeah, true.
And that's not appropriate.
Or a slap on the wrist, it's the first time. It's the first time he raped a child, so we gotta, slap him on the wrist this time, and then if he does it again, then we'll punish him. Okay.
Like that first grade teacher that only got 8 months for molesting 21 students.
I did not hear about that. Are you serious? 8 months?
First graders.
Wow.
First graders.
See, was this a male or a female?
Male.
Yeah, Regina had a comment, and she said, what about people that say they're sorry for sex that they want to have from you in a relationship? Oh, no. Do you mean like they keep asking you for sex, or they want to do some wild shit and then they say sorry because you don't want to do it? I'm so serious. Y'all laughing.
Okay, no. If they want to do some wild, if you actually do some wild stuff, and I'm like, nah, I'm not with that. You keep bringing it up, it's a dub, because you disrespected me because I told you I'm not comfortable doing that, and you keep bringing it. It's like you trying to coerce me into like doing those things, like, and I'm like, nah.
Peer pressure.
Yeah, peer pressure. Like, nah, I'm not. I'm not with that.
She said the first one. What does that mean? What was your first one?
That means somebody that keeps asking for sex and you don't want to have it. Like, oh, I'm sorry, I know we're not this right here, but I just really want to be with you, and blah 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 blah. That's bullshit, bro.
You shouldn't be seeing that person no more because they don't respect your boundaries. They
Right.
disrespect your boundaries. And when you are dating somebody, it's important to establish the boundaries like before y'all go deep in. And also, you supposed to still keep your boundaries up as you guys continue to navigate the relationship. And if you set a certain boundary, I don't want to have sex right now, and they keep trying to bring that up to you, then it's done.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, that's I think for me that would, even though I've never been in that situation, I think that would kind of creep me out and make me feel like it was a potential date rape situation. Because when you have somebody that is that like honed in on trying to get in your panties, then
yes, I want to speak about that because I'm seeing this new trend now where like dudes don't want to take you out in public because they don't know you, so they want you to come to your house. And I say that's so backwards because one minute you saying you don't want to go on a date because you don't know me. Next minute you bringing a girl to your house, she can set you up to get robbed. So you more comfortable with having a stranger come to your house than you were meeting a stranger at an Applebee's. That makes no sense to me.
Not at all.
It's just screaming.
And I'm not showing up at nobody's house that I don't know. Right.
Yeah. And self-respect is an issue on social media. I feel like you're willing to do anything for likes and followers, including losing your own self-respect.
Right.
And I think that is a bigger issue for social.
Yeah, I think another issue that we're seeing now that I find disrespectful, especially during the Black Lives Matter movement, is performative activism. I feel like a lot of people are saying something not because they really care, but because they're scared of being canceled and cancel culture, because cancel culture actually does carry weight. If you are somebody who's making money or has basically built your popularity families on social media, somebody canceling you can take you back to where you came from. So now I'm seeing like a lot of people who know that this issue's been going on since 2004 because they've been on social media since 2012. And now it's 2020, and now you want to say, "Oh, Black Lives Matter," and it's like, girl,
you're offended by that, huh?
Yeah, that grinds my gears. I'm not here for performative activism, and I'm not here for also performative like Christianity. Because when people get uncomfortable, and now they tell me, "Oh, what would Jesus do?" It was like, "But girl, last night you was snorting cocaine in the bath. I don't think Jesus wants you to do that." So let's not go there with that what would Jesus do type of stuff. And I feel like that's disrespectful too because it's being dismissive to a situation. But I also want to end this discussion on respect level between different generations and people who are older than you, because I'm part of Generation Z. And
I am so disrespectful to Generation Z. Yeah, I am. I shit on them every minute.
We are known as a disrespectful generation because
y'all are.
We don't bite our tongues for people who are older than us, but we've always been taught like if somebody's older than you, you bite your tongue for them. And I remember getting in trouble like 3 summers ago because I was at a family reunion and a 400-pound family member told me I need to push away from the table. And I said to them, I'll push away from the table once you push away first. And then my dad got mad at me. My dad was like, you can't say that disrespectful. And I said, you right. Because he doesn't even have enough strength to make it to the table. So I got scolded on the way home, but I'm just like I felt like my parents might put up with some disrespect from their parents that were okay, but I'm not tolerating that. You're not gonna be 400 pounds telling me I need to put down my fork.
Right. And I think that speaks to your generation. Regina said her cousin is Generation Z and she slapped him because he was rude. and so I really feel like your generation has been the generation that has been allowed to express themselves more than generations before you. And I think because of being allowed that expression, you feel entitled to express yourself to everyone. And the problem with that is that I feel like older people, even though they might be, grumpy and all that other shit, they're still older people. And I sincerely believe that they deserve to be respected. I've had great aunts say wild shit to me at family dinners, and I just look at them and be like, Oh, okay. Okay. That's what we, one of my aunts looked at me one time. She said, "Oh, girl, you bigger than your mom. I didn't even recognize you."
Oh.
Fight.
I said, "Okay." And I went and sat down.
That's how my family is too. They're so quick to point out your weight. They're like, "Oh my God, you put on weight. Oh, look at your butt. It's so big." And it's like, I do see myself, right? Like I don't need you pointing out the fact that I've gained
I don't need
weight.
to blow by blow.
Right. Like that just doesn't make any sense. But my family is all about, oh, you've gained weight. Oh, you've lost weight. Oh, I look better than you.
Yeah, but see, I come from a generation that always told us we need to snitch on adults since we was in preschool.
You said what?
That we need to snitch on adults since we were in preschool. Because I came from that generation of stranger danger. So I remember vividly from being in kindergarten, like, if an adult does this, you tell. If an adult does this, you do this. And I feel like generations before me, they were like, what adult says is be all end all. So you guys weren't taught to be like,
that's the problem, is that these kids keep opening their damn mouths, especially when they don't need to. What happens at home stays at home. That's what I was taught.
Yeah. And see, Danny, you're a mother, so I know your whole thing on this is from a personal place. So I couldn't imagine. My mom was a teacher, but you didn't say. My parents and my family are very big on respect in general. So it wasn't so much about being disrespected, but you were expected, especially if it was a family member, to respect them. Period. Right. You don't have to like the shit they say. You don't have to agree with the shit they say, but you do show your elders a certain amount of respect.
Exactly. And I think with like the generation coming up now, they're worse than your generation. They think, oh, well, I have a voice and I'm about to express it no matter how it comes out, no matter what you think. And then if you touch me, I'm about to call DSS.
You about to take this L. You about to take this big ass L.
Like
that will be so real.
That is the generation coming up now. And I think because, like you said, kids were taught to, if an adult is doing this, you tell on them. And I swear there's a class in school for this. Like and it's not graded, so parents don't know it exists. Like there's a class that teaches these kids how to snitch on their parents. And it doesn't make any sense.
When I was in third grade, DSS came.
I have never in my life heard of this shit.
No, they told us that you're not supposed to get whipped with a belt. You're not supposed to get whipped with a switch. You're not supposed to get hit with a stitching cord. But they did make it clear to us. They did make it clear to us that your parents can't spank you, but your parents have to spank you with an open hand. You can't get no fist or anything, stuff like that.
So yeah, exactly. So they come to your school and they don't tell the parents this. Yeah. They don't tell them that they come to the school. And I promise you, my oldest, she knows how to work the system with her. But I'm so sweet and innocent. I'm just so pretty. Like, I could never do anything bad. They're the evil ones. Like, come on, look at me. And
no, ma'am.
It's like the mouth on her, oh my goodness. I'm like, wait a minute, who do you think I am? Like, really, like this morning when you woke up, who did you think I was? That's, she said that to me. She's like, Mommy, I thought we were friends. I said, that's your problem, is you think we're friends, and we're not friends. You and I won't be friends until you're grown and out of my house and no longer asking me, can I have some money? Can I? I said, then we can be friends. I said, until then, I'm not your friend.
Not your friend at all. I'm 44 years old and I'm still not friends with my mama. Okay.
Well, I'm not anything.
I mean, we're cool. We chit chat, but we're not what I would call friends. We don't have. That's not every conversation we're about to have together. It's not that.
Right.
I'm just an adult child.
I remember. I'm not even allowed to say what to my mother. My mother called you say yes. So I remember when I worked at the YMCA, like a little 5-year-old boy's mom called him. She was like, Brandon. He was like, what? And I was like, ooh.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. Like these kids.
To say what. If my mother called you, you got up, you walked to her, you said yes. I like that.
Right. But if you didn't, your mom would get up and slap you across the head in front of nobody, whoever was there. You were getting slapped upside the head for opening your mouth. But today, if you do that, now you getting everybody looking at you. Right. Everybody's looking at you like, oh my God, she just abused that child. Even though that child was completely disrespectful and they heard it. But the fact that you put your hands on them, now it's a problem. Now we need to get the law
in the
involved.
store and ask people, do you not see your child acting like a jackass? Do something. Because I will. I'm not getting ready to listen to this little motherfucker behind me talk shit, curse, keep throwing shit in your buggy. Stop. I'm gonna, bitch, whoop his ass. And stop playing with me.
I plead the fifth.
I don't get none of that shit.
You see, that's the thing. My mother's not my friend, but we have a good relationship, and I respect her. And that's the only person I really bite my tongue for. But everybody else is kind of like fair game to me.
Right.
But see, that's how it should be. Like, you should have that respect for your mother, no matter how old you are.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, as long as she's giving it in return. There's some of us moms that,
Yeah.
But it's just, I feel like when you're an adult and you have someone older than you, it's just, you automatically give that respect. Now, if they start disrespecting you, I don't know. Now, if they're not family, it's a different thing. Like, now, my grandma, I would never dare talk back to my grandma.
Me neither, yeah.
Like, even though my grandma is in a nursing home, my grandma would still slap me. We're all still afraid of grandma. Like, we don't cuss in front of grandma. We say, yes, ma'am. If grandma says jump, we all say, how high, grandma? Like, that is how we all respect our grandmother. But you see kids today, and they're so completely disrespectful to their grandparents. Like, they're hitting them, they're cussing at them. And it's just like, wait a minute, what? Like, my grandma would have murdered me. Exactly.
Who raised you?
Like, it just...
That's my question.
It boggles my mind. And some of these parents are afraid of their own kids and won't say nothing to them. I work in behavioral health. I see it all the time. When
I used to teach, I had a student whose mother, because she was older, he was the baby, and her and her husband were like in their late 50s, early 60s, and he was 17. So they were afraid of him. And I brought them in one day and we had a long conversation, and I let him know, you need to be afraid of me. If you punch that lady one more time, it's gonna be me and you.
Right. It's all about respect. Like, it's just
your mama?
Right. I don't understand it. I never dared. Like, I went off on my mom one time. I was completely disrespectful to her one time. I was 9 years old. Oh, her hand came from nowhere and it just smacked me across my face. She said, if you ever disrespect me like that again, I'll slap you even harder.
Girl, I was 11 when I yelled at my mom. She picked me up. She threw me up against the wall twice. She picked me up, threw me at the wall, picked me up again, threw me at the wall. I hit the ground. She said, now try that shit again. I said, oh,
and see, we can't, see that right there is considered abuse. And that's how, I mean, we all grew up.
So you're just supposed to deal with a disrespectful child. That's what you're telling me?
You're supposed to spank them with an open hand.
Right, and you're not allowed to leave a bruise that lasts longer than 24 hours.
No bruise. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You see the look on my face?
Right. And mind you, I've got light-skinned kids that bruise easily. So it's like, wait a minute, whose bruises only last for 24 hours? Do yours?
You know, I'm gonna tell you an old pimp trick. You put oranges in a stocking and they'll leave bruises.
Oh yeah, I've heard that too. You know, so many people have told me. A lot of people that know my daughter have told me this.
Oh my
I remember
God.
I was like, Mom, you beat your kids with a extension cord, that's abuse. She was like, it's gonna take 20 minutes for CPS to get to my house. And in between those 20 minutes, somebody gonna be getting their ass whipped. And I said, you know what?
Oh, well, Danny, I want to thank you for being on today and talking about respect and disrespect with us.
Welcome. Thank you
And
for
I hope you have a
asking
great
me.
afternoon. Oh, you're more than welcome. You have to come back another day when we talk about other things.
Yes, I will. I would love to.
Okay.
All right. Y'all have a good evening.
All right, Bryce. You know what it is. It's time for us to wrap up today. We want to thank everybody for being a part of our live stream today. And we're going to do all of our little outros.
Hey, everybody. My name is Bryce. I'm the peer retention specialist at RAIN. So what I do is that I find people who are positive, who've been out of care for 6 months or longer, and I get them back into care, and I case manage them for a year. Throughout the case management, I provide them with services such as assistance with housing, food, shelter, transportation, anything that will help you remain and retain your care. So if you know somebody that needs my services, please call the number down below. And also, remember, spank your children with an open hand.
Oh, my name is Patrice Barsh. I am the Prep and Prevention Case Manager here at RAIN. I go out into the community and speak with groups of adults and children about healthy sexual behavior, as well as STIs and how to prevent them. I also enroll people in our PrEP program, which helps people that don't have insurance, or even some that do have insurance, be able to get PrEP at a reasonable price and or for free. So if you know anyone interested, please feel free to give me a text, a phone call, or you can hit me in my inbox. Just a couple of housekeeping things. We do have the T-shirts for the AIDS Walk ready for pickup tomorrow at the office, if you would like to come by and pick those up. And we will also be back in the office on the 15th with limited hours, and we will start doing some scheduled HIV and Hep C testing. If you need any condoms, lube, Plan B, please feel free to hit us all up, and we would love to help you out. We want everybody to stay as safe as possible, even though COVID is starting to end up. We hope you guys have a great night, and thanks for watching.